All right. Hello, my name is Quinn Heath, and I will be the moderator for tonight's community outreach meeting. This is an informational meeting about a proposed marijuana establishment to be located at 144 West Britannia Street in Taunton, Massachusetts at zip code 02780. The proposed licensee, Blazing D's Delivery LLC, seeks to obtain an adult use marijuana courier license at the Taunton address. Blazing D's Delivery LLC is managed by Gina Calitri and Darius Monterio with us for this meeting tonight. We also have Blake Mensing, attorney for Blazing D's Delivery. Tonight's meeting will open with a brief presentation by the licensee, followed by an opportunity for public comment and engagement. An opportunity was given to the public to submit questions in advance, and no questions have been received at this time. So with that, I'll turn it over to Blake.
Thank you, Quinn. As Quinn said, this is a meeting that's required by the state's Cannabis Control Commission regulations. My name is attorney Blake Mensing. I'm here on behalf of Blazing D's Delivery LLC, who again is proposing an adult use courier establishment at 144 West Britannia Street, Taunton, Massachusetts, 02780. And I'm just going to cover the topics that the regulations require. The first required topic is information that's adequate to demonstrate that this facility will be maintained securely. And the governing regulations here are 935 CMR 500.110. The commission goes into very granular detail about what a cannabis facility must contain in terms of security. Commercial grade locks, camera coverage, limited access areas, and no admittance to anyone under 21. Now, the courier license doesn't actually involve a building where cannabis will be stored. The courier model allows a licensed and equipped vehicle with security cameras and GPS trackers and two registered agents in it to pick up a cannabis product from a licensed brick and mortar retail establishment in the state and deliver it directly to consumers. If the consumer is not available or refuses the product, the company may not bring its products, that's in the vehicle back to the West Britannia Street location. That actually has to go back to the originating facility. So that really mitigates a lot of the security risks. The security risks that exist have been, covered by the Cannabis Control Commission regulations. As I said, cameras in the vehicle, they have a secure lockbox, both for cash and product. There's a $10,000 product maximum in any vehicle trip. There must be randomized routes. The vehicles can't have, markings on the outside letting people know that it's carrying cannabis. And there are two registered agents, both 21 plus, that are, charged with bringing it to point A to point B. Again, bringing it back to the originating facility if someone is not there to accept it or rejects it. So that's really the sort of best arrow in the quiver of tools to stop, any security issues. In addition, there is a required body camera for the person making the actual delivery to the customer. So it's very, very secure, very buttoned up. The next required topic has to do with preventing diversion of minors. That is accomplished again with the customer base being adults of 21 years of age or older. In order to be eligible to order from the courier service Blazing D's, a customer will have had to verify their identity with a brick and mortar retail establishment. That license showing that someone is 21 years of age or older is verified when the order is placed, and it is also verified in person with a handheld card scanner when the delivery is happening. And this is not the type of product where, let's say a husband or a wife orders and, happen to be taking a shower. You can't send your spouse downstairs and say, hey, can you sign for this for me? It's only the people who ordered it. And that is a really good tool to ensure that people under 21 aren't getting this product. You need to match up, with your order, you need to match up with your ID, and you need to match up with the address, that you place the order under. So the likelihood of anyone, under 21 getting hands on this is pretty low, especially because every product from a retail store has with it a unique alphanumeric barcode that goes into the state seed to sale tracking platform known as Metric, METRC. So we truly will know, who grew it, who manufactured, who put it in the vehicle, and all that is, manifested in triplicate. It is weighed, on camera by the retailer. It's weighed and documented and logged when, the courier picks it up. And then there's a closeout procedure, once you've delivered it, or if you have to bring it back to the originating facility, you have to go through that whole, trail of breadcrumbs again. So that really minimizes any risk of diversion to minors. The next required topic has to do with a positive impact to the community. And what Blaze and D's Delivery LLC is intending to do is make an annual charitable contribution to a nonprofit called the Big Hope Project. What the Big Hope Project does is they focus their educational and training efforts in areas of 29 areas of disproportionate impact throughout the state, where basically the state ran the numbers, found that people were either enforced against more harshly or the sentences were harsher based on a whole host of factors. So what the Big Hope Project does is they host expungement clinics, record sealing clinics, educational events. They also have a fellowship program where they're going to be having various professionals, give some tips and tricks and sort of guideposts for, marketing, compliance, wholesale relationships, that sort of thing. So it's a very robust nonprofit that does a lot of good work to try to help people get into this industry. And to clarify, this company is a social equity company. So the courier license is exclusively reserved for the first 3 years to folks holding that social equity designation. So Blaze and D's, enjoys that designation. And so it's important to, Darius and Gina to give back. So the Big Hope Project is what they intend to do to satisfy that. The last required topic has to do with basically a plan to not be a nuisance. Again, with cannabis, the sort of biggest potential for nuisance would really be odor. This facility in and of itself will never have cannabis in it. The vehicle, will be registered to that address, parked in the parking lot, but then when it picks up cannabis, it goes to a, licensed brick and mortar retailer, wherever that retailer may be. It goes from that store to the end use consumer. It never returns back to the facility in Taunton. So, we're not talking a fleet of 100 vehicles. This will be, 1, 2, or 3 vehicles making, routine trips to a retailer and delivering wherever the customer may be in the state. No cannabis will ever be stored. And that, I think, really mitigates any real potential for nuisance. They're not going to play loud music at 3 a.m. There's no real potential. The only other thing I like to say is that any license from the state, any permit from the city, and any host community agreement, none of those are, a free pass to become a nuisance. So if they're a nuisance for some reason, someone who was a neighbor would say, hey, I don't like that, and could file a complaint with the city or the state, or even bring a lawsuit. But again, as a courier establishment, I don't really see a legitimate potential for nuisance here. And yeah, I just don't think they want to be bad neighbors. They just want to, be an anonymous business that, brings products from, the retail store to the customers. And really the people in the neighborhood shouldn't really notice the difference between any of the other, commercial vehicles making trips. So with that, we have covered every topic that the regulations require. And I'll turn it back to Quinn and answer any questions if any members of the public have shown up since we started.
Yep, I'll just confirm that we don't have any members of the public. So thank you for watching this meeting. Have a great night.